Have you ever Googled how to improve subconscious mind power and felt frustrated by vague advice? You're not alone. Today, we're blending two proven approaches, Carl Jung's psychological insights and Florence Scovel Shinn's metaphysical affirmations, to give you a clear path towards strengthening that hidden force inside you. Carl Jung taught that our subconscious mind communicates through symbols, dreams, and synchronicities. He believed that once you learn to read these signs, you can rewire old patterns that keep you stuck. Florence Scovel Shinn, on the other hand, showed that every word you speak plants a seed in the subconscious. If those seeds are rooted in doubt or fear, they grow into obstacles. But when you speak faith-filled, empowering affirmations, you transform your inner world and your reality. In this video, titled How to Improve Subconscious Mind Power, Florence Scovel Shinn's and Carl Jung, you'll discover exactly how to 1. Recognize the hidden blocks that drain your mental energy. 2. Decode the symbolic messages your subconscious sends every day. 3. Speak affirmations that forge new neural pathways for confidence and abundance. By the end of this first block, you'll understand why subconscious power isn't just a buzzword. It's the key to lasting change. First, let's examine why so many people search how to improve subconscious mind power and still feel stuck. Imagine your mind as a vast ocean, where the surface is what you see, your conscious thoughts, and the depths are hidden currents, pulling you in directions you don't even realize. Those currents are shaped by years of unexamined beliefs, repeated words, and buried emotions. Jung called them the shadow, and taught that if you don't bring those currents to the surface, they will continue to steer your ship. Meanwhile, Florence warned that if you keep repeating words like, "I am not enough," or "I can't succeed," you bury yourself deeper under waves of self-doubt. So how do we begin to improve that subconscious power, to transform those hidden currents into a force that carries us forward instead of holding us back? In the next few minutes, we'll reveal 3 simple yet profound steps, drawn directly from Jung's work on symbols and dreams, and from Florence's practice of affirmations. But first, ask yourself, what repeated thought or emotion do I catch myself with most often? Hold that question as we move into key 1, recognizing the hidden blocks. When you're ready, let's dive in and start boosting your subconscious mind power now. Recognizing the hidden blocks. Have you ever noticed a recurring thought or emotion that seems to paralyze you just when you're about to take a bold step forward? That glitch is often a hidden block rooted deep in your subconscious. Carl Jung called these patterns the shadow, and he taught that unless we bring them into conscious awareness, they will continue to exert influence over our behavior. Florence Scovel Shinn referred to similar obstacles as limiting beliefs, words and images we repeat so often that they become self-fulfilling prophecies. The first hidden block is often fear of not being enough. Maybe you catch yourself thinking, "I'm not qualified," or "they will judge me." When that thought appears, your subconscious mind automatically triggers a cascade of self-doubt, lowering your energy, clouding your focus, and sabotaging your efforts. Recognizing this block means watching your internal dialogue without judgment. As soon as you spot a thought like, "I can't do this," pause and ask, where did that belief originate? A second common block is resistance to change. Jung described how the ego clings to familiar patterns because it fears the unknown. For Florence, the equivalent was, old thoughts that hold you back. If you've ever said, "I always fail at this," you've powered up a subconscious pattern that repeats failure. To notice this, pay attention whenever you feel inertia. When you find reasons to postpone or retreat, even if you desperately want progress. That hesitation is the shadow's protective instinct at work. A third hidden block is confusion between desire and expectation. Jung warned that unconscious expectations create psychological complexes. Florence would say that expecting specific outcomes is a misuse of faith. For instance, if you declare, "I expect to be promoted by next month," your subconscious may resist because it senses desperation. Instead of clear, prescriptive demands, opt for open-ended affirmations. I am ready to receive right opportunities at the perfect time. This subtle shift moves you from resistance into alignment. Now let's practice a simple exercise to pinpoint these hidden blocks. 1. Pause and label. When you feel emotional tension, fear, frustration, or hesitation, pause immediately. Label the feeling, "I'm afraid," "I'm stuck," or "I feel unworthy." 2. Trace back. Ask, when was the first time I felt this way? Maybe it goes back to a childhood memory or a critical comment you heard. Write it down. 3. Speak the opposite. Once you identify the original belief, like "I am not good enough," state the opposite as a Florence affirmation. "I am more than enough and always learning." Say it aloud 3 times. By consistently pausing, labeling, and speaking the opposite truth, you dissolve the hidden blocks over time. Your subconscious begins to rewire itself, replacing fear with faith. In the next block, we'll explore how to decode symbolic messages from your subconscious, dreams, synchronicities, and everyday signs that guide you toward deeper transformation. Now that you've learned to recognize hidden blocks, the next step is to decode the symbolic messages your subconscious sends you every day. Carl Jung taught that our unconscious communicates through symbols, dream images, synchronicities, and even seemingly random occurrences. Florence Scovel Shinn agreed that symbols carry divine guidance. When a particular image or phrase repeats, it is your subconscious mind guiding you. By learning to interpret these messages, you open a direct pathway to deeper insight and accelerated transformation. Imagine waking from a dream of walking across a cracked bridge. Jung would say that the bridge is a symbol of connection, perhaps between you and an important goal, and the crack signals a hidden fear threatening that connection. Florence might add that the crack represents a limiting belief in your mind. Together, their teachings encourage you to pay attention and respond. The first exercise is dreamwork and active imagination. Each morning, jot down any dream fragments, no matter how small. Note the dominant image, emotion, or recurring figure. Then, while still awake, close your eyes and mentally dialogue with that image. If you dreamed of the cracked bridge, imagine yourself repairing it, asking, "What belief must I change to cross safely?" Say the answer aloud and write it down. This ritual rewires the subconscious by converting symbolism into conscious action. The second exercise is synchronicity journaling. Jung labeled meaningful coincidences, synchronistic events, for example, repeatedly seeing a particular number sequence, or encountering someone who shares the same message. Whenever you notice a pattern, like clock readings at 11:11, or friends mentioning the same phrase, stop and ask, "What is my unconscious trying to show me?" Record the date, time, and details in a small notebook. Florence would remind you that these synchronous moments often flag important insights you need to manifest your highest good. At the end of each week, review your entries and identify common themes. That reflection helps you align with your true purpose. The third exercise is symbol observation in daily life. As you walk, drive, or work, notice anything that catches your eye: an unusual color on a building, a specific animal crossing your path, or a billboard slogan that feels personally meaningful. Stop for a moment, breathe, and ask, why is my subconscious drawing my attention to this now? Then state a simple affirmation related to that symbol. If you see a solitary oak tree standing strong in a storm, say, I stand firm in every challenge. By regularly tuning into these everyday signs, you cultivate a constant dialogue between your conscious mind and your deeper self. By practicing dreamwork, journaling synchronicities, and observing daily symbols, you tap into a continuous stream of subconscious guidance. Each small revelation dissolves old barriers and encourages you to take aligned action. Once you master decoding these symbolic messages, you're ready to integrate all insights into a daily routine, our next key. Now that you've learned to recognize hidden blocks and decode symbolic messages, it's time to integrate these insights into daily practices so you can transform your subconscious and sustain lasting change. In this final block, we'll outline a simple routine, show you how to adapt when challenges arise, and close with a clear invitation to continue growing together on Florence Manifest. 1. Morning mandala and affirmation. Each morning, before you begin your day, spend 1 minute visualizing a simple mandala or circular image in your mind's eye. Jung believed that mandalas represent wholeness and balance. Focusing on a deliberate pattern aligns your unconscious toward equilibrium. Immediately afterward, speak a Florence Scovel Shinn style affirmation out loud. Something like, I am centered, whole, and guided by divine intelligence. Feel each word resonate in your chest. This brief ritual sets the tone for the day, weaving together Jung's symbolic focus and Florence's faith-based practice. Second evening shadow dialogue. At night, review any strong emotional reactions or dream symbols from the day. Ask yourself, what triggered me and what message did that dream or symbol carry? Write a short dialogue in your journal between you and that shadow aspect. For example, you. I felt overwhelmed when feedback was critical. Shadow. I fear not being good enough. You. I choose to trust my ongoing growth and learning. Conclude with a statement like, I release fear and embrace confident growth. This practice dissolves the shadow's hold, replacing old fear-based scripts with empowering beliefs. 3. Weekly depth reflection. Once a week, ideally on your day off, find a quiet space to review your dreamwork and synchronicity journal. Look for patterns, recurring symbols, repeated themes, or significant coincidences. Identify one core lesson and write a lesson statement, such as, this week I learned that self-doubt often blocks my creativity. Then craft a new story affirmation. For instance, I trust my creative instincts and welcome inspired ideas. Read this affirmation aloud 3 times, feeling its truth. This deeper reflection bridges subconscious insights with conscious intentions, reinforcing a new, positive narrative. Adapting to challenges. Life will present unexpected obstacles, deadlines, relationship tensions, or sudden changes. When old patterns resurface, return to the 3-minute practice. Pause, label your emotion. I am anxious. I feel stuck. Recall the appropriate affirmation and visualize your mandala once more. If you catch a thought like, I can't handle this, immediately counter with, I am capable and supported. The more quickly you intervene, the more efficiently your subconscious adjusts. You now have a complete system to reprogram your subconscious. 1. Recognize hidden blocks. 2. Decode symbolic messages. 3. Integrate transformation with daily rituals. If this video resonated with you, please like and comment below with which key helped you most, or share your own insights and struggles. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Florence Manifest and click the bell icon so you never miss a weekly deep dive into psychology, spirituality, and personal mastery. Thank you for watching. Remember, your subconscious is not your master. You are. See you in the next video where we continue this journey together.